Hello and welcome to Nintendo News Report for Wednesday, May 18th, 2016. Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself with the download article going up tomorrow. I am Donald Terriel, news editor, Nintendo World Report. I'm joined tonight by the boss, Neal Ronahan.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Don't call it a comeback? I don't know, something like that.
Back for the first time.
Good to have you back, Neal. And also with us here this week is Zach Miller.
Well, sir, there's nothing on Earth like a bona fide, genuine, electrified six-car monorail. What's it called?
Monorail.
What'd I say?
Monorail.
I saw you tweet about Phil Hartman earlier, and it made me sad. He was very funny.
It was.
But you know what's funny? The movies.
Yeah, and, well, let's talk
That's
about
the best,
shall we?
the best segue ever.
So this past week in a major Japanese newspaper, Mr. Kimishima gave an interview in which he basically indicated that Nintendo is pretty much ready to go with movie projects as far as doing most of the work themselves on it, but we're probably not going to see anything from that for 2 or 3 years.
I love how they gave a range. Like, it was just like, it's not going to be next year, but it won't be 5. Like, that was what I got out of that. Was that, like, it's going to be somewhere in that sweet spot.
Yeah. So obviously they've done some animated stuff recently with, well, they had the Pikmin shorts about a year and a half ago, and then the Star Fox thing that came out just before Zero did.
Icarus years ago.
Yeah. So there's one thing though that really concerns me about this whole thing, and it came out today because you might recall that Ratchet and Clank came out last month on the PS4. They also had a movie for that, and to say that movie tanked would be an insult to tanking.
I mean, no, it's not like, what was it? It was that a Zac Efron movie last year.
Bad Grandpa, which I just saw.
No. Was it him? I don't know, because there was the Gem and the Holograms movie, which was like the lowest per screen average or something ever.
Really?
And then, like, I think a Zac Efron movie came out like the next week, and then that was the lowest per screen average ever. Like,
wow.
That's giving tanking a bad name. Ratchet and Clank is just what we call a good old-fashioned failure.
Yeah, I think they had $8 million in U.S. gate receipts on a $20 million budget, and this small production company who's doing it, Mainframe Entertainment, who was trying to get Reboot off the ground, basically they said, we're going to lose, we're taking a $10 million loss on this movie because of it completely bombing.
Oh,
so, wait, is it Rainmaker?
Yeah.
You said Mainframe.
They've renamed.
Okay.
Because again, this is the Rainmaker Mainframe, the reboot guys, basically.
Okay.
And honestly, at this point, unless they're going straight to Mario for the first movie, I'm not sure what Nintendo would pull out that wouldn't do as bad as Ratchet and Clank did, because they can't do Pokemon. Because that's already been done elsewhere.
Yeah, Pokemon movies are already things.
I mean, like a real Pokemon live action with CG Pokemons could be cool.
But didn't they specify no? It's just animation. Like they weren't looking at live action.
Then.
Right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure if they have any experienced live action film directors on the staff at Nintendo, unless.
Yeah.
Get those Super Mario Bros. People back.
No, don't. It was a bad idea. I mean, maybe what's Fred Savage doing? That show he was on got canceled. Was that Ben Savage? I don't know. I get the Savages confused.
Yeah.
We actually have someone in the chat. Giovanni mentions that Sony's been linked with the Mario movie for the leaks. I was about to bring that up, but he beat me to it. So some of this movie stuff, I mean, this was, what was that? Was that a year and a half ago? Were the Sony leaks with the stuff with the interview?
I remember that.
It was under 2014.
It was late 2014, where there were, I think part of the emails were like Avi Arad, who's known for being kind of a huckster and getting Spider-Man movies off the ground. He was very happy that like they basically landed the Mario movie. And well, I mean that could have fizzled out. It has been almost 2 years since that email. I mean that could be a possible landing spot. It could have been something, or at least that could have been something that they were trying to shop around. And you'd think if any bigger studio was going to work with Nintendo on something, they're not going to be. It's not going to be like DreamWorks being like, well, all right, Nintendo, you can do Pikmin, and then we'll do Mario. Like, no, like you're going for the big gun first. You don't mess around if you're going to go into movies.
I think Zelda might be a better franchise for a film. What are you going to do with Mario?
I feel like
you're going to film the story of New Super Mario Brothers.
But I feel like there's a. Let's look at something that. I mean, we don't know 100% for certain because it hasn't happened yet, but all of the tracking is that Angry Birds movie is going to do bonzo numbers. Like it could be like I think I saw an article today that was like it's going to be this year's Lego movie.
No.
Like that Angry Birds movie is probably going to make a lot of money, and in all honesty, not that I'm like super into those kind of movies. I saw the trailer for that before a movie a couple weeks ago. It didn't look terrible. Like, do I want to see it? No. But like it didn't look bad.
Yeah, I think it's tracking to open over 40 million this weekend.
Yeah, which I mean that's a lot more than that Ratchet and Clank movie. But that's a game that has a shoestring plot. Like it's.
But those are characters on everybody's phone. Ratchet and Clank failed because it only appeals to people who know who those characters are.
And that's the point that like Mario would probably be fine because they could.
That's true. I just don't know what you could do with a Mario movie besides
an Angry Birds movie, dude.
Huh?
What could you do with an Angry Birds movie? They're making a fucking emoji movie.
Yeah. Oh God, really?
Hollywood will make anything if they think it'll make a few bucks.
Yeah.
But I think Nintendo's got a bit of a unique problem though because a lot of, I mean, you don't go to Nintendo for a really, really gripping story unless it's like Fire Emblem. So I see where Zach's coming from with, doing a Mario movie with what excuse aside from, oh, you have to save Daisy in Brooklyn. Because God knows we've been down this road before with Mario Brothers movies.
The chat is lively right now. Daniel points out there's a lot of wiggle room on Mario Brothers. And M. Schultz says Mario's story is suitable for a porn movie.
It's been a porn movie. Super Pornio Bros.
Yeah.
Nintendo owns the
Super Pornio Bros.
Pornio Bros.
Yeah, Nintendo owns the rights to that movie, so it can never come out.
That's amazing.
And Giovanni points out, make it the story of Mario's career as a video game character, which having that kind of meta layer, I mean, that worked for Wreck-It Ralph really well. And if you were to do something like that, where you make it more meta about like what is a video game, like I guess just make Wreck-It Ralph
go Lego movie. Go Lego movie with it.
Yeah, you could go Lego movie with it. Like that'd be great. Like yeah, just make like the Nintendo movie. Make it Smash Brothers the movie.
No, we were joking about this on Twitter. Like have a Nintendo Cinematic Universe where at the end of the Mario movie, I don't know who I was saying, but somebody turns around in Mario's house when he gets back home and he says, Mario, I'm here to talk to you about the Subspace initiative.
And it's like, who would it be? Would it be Game & Watch? Would it be Game & Watch?
Oh, yes, it would. That would be good.
I don't know, Duck Hunt. But like, I mean, yeah, Smash Brothers the movie, make Sakurai the director. Seeing what happened to the dude during the new Smash, he made 2 Smash Brothers game and like he like destroyed his arm. He'll probably be a cyborg by the end of the Smash Brothers movie.
Yes.
But then the unexpected benefit, then we can just have Cyborg Sakurai and like clone him, and then he can just have one Sakurai who's the Smash Brothers Sakurai. And then another one's like the weird idea Sakurai who makes like Kirby Air Ride type games. He can do the F-Zero open world game. He can make like a new Duck Hunt, and like that'll be like crazy spin-off Sakurai.
There you go.
And then you have movie making Sakurai. I mean, he's only like 25. He could do it.
And his menu system will be the standard for whatever system all those games come out on.
Yep. I'd love to see his movie poster.
Yeah. So, obviously, we're not going to see any. Like we said, it's going to be a couple of years before we see any benefit from this, but
shorter than 5 years.
Yes. Yeah. Longer than 1, shorter than 5. Now, I guess before we move on, like in throwing out the business aspect of it, what movie from a Nintendo property would you want to see?
Metroid.
Like just pure want, Zach.
Metroid.
Yeah, I figured. Donald.
Lord of the Rings style Fire Emblem.
That would be pretty cool. I like how I proposed this idea, and I mean, Metroid was kind of mine. Like, I would love to see a really good Zelda movie. I'm not sure if that's possible, but I mean, F-Zero. Just make F-Zero like Fast and the Furious. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yes.
That actually might get me in the theater, and well, I've seen 6 movies in theaters since 2008. So it takes a lot.
Like, I'll be honest, like, whatever this movie is, like, I'm seeing it. I don't really care. It could be the worst movie ever. It could be Gem and the Holograms, but if it's like, oh yeah, Yoshi's in it, I'd be like, all right, let's go.
I feel like we could get Dennis Hopper to play Bowser.
He's dead.
Oh shit, that's right.
True story. Found out Dennis Hopper was dead when I was in Redmond and about to visit the Nintendo headquarters.
Really?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I was just like, oh man, I was at a coffee shop. I saw on the news Dennis Hopper died, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. Mentioned it to someone when I was at NOA HQ, and they were just like, who? I'm like, oh.
You jerks.
You do realize there's only one person who starred in that 1993 Mario Brothers movie who's still alive, right?
Samantha Mathis is still around.
Yeah. I was just thinking of like Mario, Luigi, and Bowser, and it's John Leguizamo who's the only one who's still kicking.
And maybe the guy who played whatever that Koopa cousin guy was, maybe he's alive. Yeah. I hope he was in better movies.
Mm.
But speaking of things that involve Mario that are a bit unexpected, the Mario Minecraft pack came out on Tuesday night at Nintendo's usual update time, which still seemed to throw some people off. I haven't played it, but watching the roommate go at it, there is an awful. I think they've referenced every game short of Mario is missing in this thing.
So I'm curious, as someone who's, I mean, my exposure to Minecraft is through my 8-year-old niece. How is when you go into this Mario mashup pack, is it just like there's a pre-made world, or what?
There is a pre-made world it's pretty much a full map that has different sections that are devoted to each game. I think it pretty much stops right before Galaxy, though, because I know there's an Isle Delfino, there's plenty of 64 music and a section with that, and there's spots that are like 3 in world. So there is a full world there, but you can also use the Mario skin to build it, or play your Steve as Wario, for instance.
I'm gonna get this. I don't know when. I might wait for the retail version, or it might just be I'm bored one night and my Wii U's hooked up, and then I'll do that. What the hell are you doing, Cat? Cat's up to no good.
Uh-oh.
I think this is a great idea. I want to see Zelda mashup packs. Give me the Sakurai Universe mashup pack. I'm all about it.
I can see them building up a train as an F-Zero car.
Huh.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah, Mario Kart.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, so that seems to be the biggest release of the week, at least for North America, because Europe's getting Fire Emblem Fates finally. But Zach, I know there's something you wanted to mention that's coming out tomorrow on the Wii U eShop.
It's my secret favorite Wii game, Poke Park Wii Pikachu's Adventure.
Yeah,
it is a game for 8-year-olds.
Yep,
but it's also... Huh?
You got that art print from me at PAX East.
I stole this from you, yes.
Yeah, it's from an E3.
It actually looks like it was run over by a car, but I really like it.
You know when that game came out? Because I got that from the E3 before then.
Oh, really? Well, that explains a few things. So PokePark Wii it's a game for babies, but it's really fun to play if you just want something to turn off your brain and relax. Oh, kitty. Or really, really like Pokemon. Like when you go through one of these environments and you're like, holy shit, it's Wingull! I have to go talk to Wingull! Then you'll like this game. You run around as Pikachu and you challenge Pokemon to chase battles where you just chase them and head bonk them to win, or fights which are super easy. You just use the 1 and 2 buttons and A to zap, and you really just make friends with all the Pokemon on the island, and it's so adorable. And there's so many parts in the game that are cute beyond words, like when a Weedle is like, "Let's fight! I'm gonna get you this time." He's a little tiny friggin' worm. He's so confident, and you beat him with one. You just touch him, and he goes flying away. He's like, "Oh, I'll get you next time."
Team Rocket's blasting off again.
But it's such a cute game, and there's a ton of environments. It's surprisingly long and big.
There's a very real chance that I buy this tomorrow, and I stream it in about 24 hours from this moment.
And one of the legendary Pokemon you find towards the end is Shaman, Donald.
Hey.
Ooh.
Yeah, if Wii games weren't $30 in Canada, I'd probably be all over those.
So Giovanni in the chat said that Zach, you should play Hey You Pikachu.
That's the voice recognition N64 game.
I played Hey You Pikachu at a local Street Pass event a couple months ago, and let me tell you, Hey You Pikachu is terrible. It was just me yelling at a Pikachu for 20 minutes, and then I don't know, we watched TV together. That was it.
Yeah, isn't there not really a game there?
There is another game that I've played at a gaming event back at my local library in high school. I think it was Pokemon Channel, where it is quite literally you just watch Pokemon TV.
Yeah.
Here's some dumb Pokemon games up there.
My recommendation for Giovanni, if he doesn't already know this, the secret best Pokemon games are the mini games from Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. Those are so good. They're better than the Stadium games.
I watched people play Pokemon Stadium at said Street Pass event. It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's one movie I want to point out. An idea that someone had was I have to scroll back up through the chat to give credit, but Golden Sun with Gerard Depardieu. That'd be kind of great. I would watch that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's also some stuff with I don't know, Not Safe for Work, Samus and Rosalina.
Well, obviously.
Thanks, RZA.
Well, somebody's written that fanfic already.
Probably.
Yeah, but honestly, what they need, we need a PokePark 3, if only because I want to play with a Poplio.
Maybe that
we
would be
do need a
NX
PokePark 3. We need one for, I guess, NX, but they could probably punt it to Wii U, and it'd be fine. I don't think these games sell super well.
I've always heard you speak very highly of both PokePark games.
I haven't played the second one.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Who the hell reviewed the second one first? Was it?
I think it might have been Carmine.
I'm gonna check because I know that you reviewed the first one and you loved it.
Loved it.
I think the second one is pretty good.
Game that year.
I'm honestly I'm looking forward to playing it.
Nice. I'm halfway through a new game. I just started playing it on a whim on the Wii a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
That was Josh Max reviewed it. He gave the sequel a 7.
Oh, interesting.
It has something for every Poke enthusiast. But that's not the one coming out tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
But I've heard that one was really good.
And Zach, I'm going to sneak a copy of the Mario All-Stars re-release for Wii for the Wii into your system there, just so we can get it on the eShop in a couple of weeks.
There you go. I know the Kirby one. I still need the Kirby game.
Epic Yarn or Return to Dreamland?
No, the collection.
Oh.
That's hard to find from what I've heard.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad I got mine then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Kirby collection of games that I mostly own on virtual
games on that collection anyway, but I just want the collection for the.
It is a very nice collection.
Yeah, and there's some exclusive like Return to Dreamland themed content in that as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's worth it if they ever get around to releasing collections on the system. It might be worth looking into.
Sure.
But we go from one monster collecting series to another one. We got a very interesting email on Monday morning from Nintendo. By the way, we're launching Yokai Watch 2 in, what is it, Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls versions?
Which is like a real male-female thing going on right there. And I'm very uncomfortable. Like,
at least they didn't use the word
hell,
moist.
Man? Those titles are nuts.
Yeah.
Just everybody close your eyes. Let's do a little experiment here.
Yokai Watch, sweaty balls.
What comes to your mind when you hear the following phrases? Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Bony spirits. Bony spirits.
Walking skeletons.
Yeah, okay, now it's the second phrase. Fleshy souls. Fleshy souls.
The worst Dark Souls game ever.
But yeah, I mean, they're just really like.
Fleshy should not be in the title of any game.
I don't know if Bony should be either. Like, I'll be honest, I'm in for this game because I liked enough about the first Yokai Watch that from what I've heard about the sequel and that it's better in almost every conceivable way. Like, I'm looking forward to this. I'm glad it's coming over.
Is this a Pokemon Red Blue kind of thing?
Yeah. I think in the third one there might be like 3 versions, but I should.
Great.
Actually, the second one has 3 versions.
Oh, okay.
They crystalled it. I am afraid to see what the third version is going to be called for this one if they release it over here.
Yokai Watch, huge boner.
And it's still rated E for everyone.
No, moist membranes. I said it on Twitter. Moist membranes.
Yeah. So now they've got this game coming out, Yokai Watch 2 coming out in North America on September 30th. They do know that there is, as of this moment, something rather big in that genre slated to release on September 30th, right? I mean, I can see the argument. You know, people are going to buy an RPG, but maybe don't have an Xbox One, PS4. But that's I don't know if this is going to be brilliant or completely insane to try to put a series you're growing up against Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I mean,
different audience. Totally different audience.
And also, that's assuming that Final Fantasy 15 doesn't get delayed in the 11th hour.
I mean, we're talking about kids who just got into like grade school versus kids who were in grade school when Final Fantasy 15 was announced.
Yeah.
You know when Final Fantasy when Final Fantasy 15 was announced
versus 13.
I was in high school.
Brutal.
That's how long ago that was. I wasn't done high school yet. I went to college. I've been married for 5 years. Like, I own a house. When that game was announced, I was not even done high school.
And I thought I was still in university at that point. Like, I graduated. No, actually, it's 10 years ago tomorrow is my graduation day. So it's like,
congratulations.
Thank you. So that game, I think you're right. I think it's got one more I think Final Fantasy 15 is one more delay, and I think they announced it at E3.
Yeah.
It randomly comes out in March, and nobody really says anything, even after that giant dog and pony show they had. But do we think this, putting aside 15 for a moment, do we think this is actually going to do anything, or is it just there's too many bloody RPGs on the 3DS this year?
Yeah, there's nothing else, is there?
It's just RPGs. RPGs all day, every day.
Hey, we got Dragon Quest 7 and 8 coming up too.
Do we? Do we?
Well, I think at this point, because between this and something we're going to be talking about next, I don't think they have any more room to put Dragon Quest VII out before October. And if that's the case, there's no way in hell we're getting 8 this year.
Oh,
well, yeah, because all right, let's. I mean, well, when we get to the release date, which I actually can't think of what it is off the top of my head. When we get to the release date of the other news, so upcoming in the great 3DS RPG.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's actually one of the games. It's
That's
subtitled
coming.
Apocalypse. That's perfect. Yeah. So what's up next? I mean, there is Kirby and Federation Forces in August. There's not anything for the next couple. I mean, we got Seventh Dragon 3, which we'll have a preview of that coming up at the end of May. The game comes out in July. That's Sega RPG. There's, I guess, Style Savvy.
There's Style Savvy. There's the thing we're going to be talking about next, which Nintendo is really getting behind. Yeah. So they're probably not going to want to put anything out around it. And they're publishing it in Europe, too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they did the same thing for 4 Ultimate, didn't they? We're talking about Monster Hunter Generations, by the way.
Yeah.
Fun fact, me, Neal, and Alex were all killed by the easiest monster in the game at E3. Not E3, PAX East.
Easiest demo.
Easiest demo.
Was kind of embarrassing. I did kind of just like, because in the new Monster Hunter game, you can do this thing where like, if you're a certain class, you can like roll and then hop. So I just did that too much. And I was messing around with it.
Yeah. So for those who haven't heard, the other news we were going to talk about here, Monster Hunter Generations has been dated for July 15th in North America and Europe. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So let's see, you've got Seventh Dragon, Monster Hunter coming out the same week, then Federation Force in August, which Nintendo I think will still make an attempt to leave alone with Style Savvy, and then you have Yokai Watch 2 in September. Yeah, you're pretty much. And SMT4 Apocalypse is
that's probably going to be August or September. Corpse Party at the end of August. Zero Time Dilemmas at the end of June. Some of these aren't like strictly RPGs, but these are also like I don't know, like Japanesey things.
Games Donald would be into.
Yeah.
Stuff that should be on Vita.
And we still Dragon Quest 7 and 8 were, I believe, back at the most recent Direct. We're still listed for 2016. At this point, I think 7 will come out sometime in the fall, and 8's coming out next year. That's my guess.
Yeah, sort of like what they did with 4 and 5, because I know 4 came out in September of its year, and then 5 was in February or March of the next year.
Wait, for Dragon Quest?
Does anyone want 7? I thought 7 was really poorly looked upon.
Well, the problem with 7...
Everyone talks about how 7's like poor production values and rushed and it's ugly and
7 is normally long or abnormally long, and the localization, even the localizers hate it. So the purpose of the 3DS remake is shorter and will have a competent localization behind it, I would assume.
Okay. So it's basically they're fixing it.
Yeah. And that's why like Dragon Quest 7 coming over is awesome, because the version that exists in English for that is as Donald said, it's janky and shitty.
Okay.
From what I've heard, Dragon Quest 8 is a little bit less exciting. Because
there's like 1 or 2 new characters in your party.
But it's the difference between getting a PS1 game to run on the 3DS and getting a PS2 game to run on the 3DS, especially a late era one. So that game is going to run the risk of being a Xenoblade 3D situation.
Yeah, I think Dragon Quest 8, from what I've heard, I mean, the game's already out in Japan. I think it runs like hot garbage in the Japanese version.
Hyrule Legends.
Hyrule Legends, if you have a new 3DS, that's totally fine. If you don't...
That's what I mean.
But yeah, I mean, Dragon Quest 7 and 8 also have gigantic scripts. Like, that localization must be taking a long time.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's with like 20 hours cut out of 7, at least from what we understand from the Japanese version. Admittedly, our memories are kind of hazy about that thing, as it came out in 2013 there.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, dude, Kirby comes out in less than a month.
Yes.
Just pointing that one out there.
Wouldn't it be funny if in North America anyway, this won't happen, but Federation Force gets the Devil's Third spot on the weekly downloads PR?
I think Nintendo's going to make an honest attempt to actually sell that game.
Oh, well, we haven't gotten an apologetic video for a while about it.
Yeah, and that's I mean, dude, there's some weird shit going on. Like, I mean, we'll probably never really know, like, what exactly. Well, I mean, I guess we do know. Federation Force got delayed. Like, they didn't. I guess in Japan it was a formal delay. For everyone else, it was kind of. We said late spring. Late spring is August. Kidding. But back during that March Direct, the apology video from Tanabe was like, "Stay tuned in the coming months for all this more details." And like, they had I think they had another round of demos, at least in North America, but they haven't, and they had the release date.
Yeah, they did.
But like, there hasn't been anything more about like what is that game other than what we found out in the Nintendo Direct in March.
Right.
And what you guys played at PAX East.
Yeah.
That's one of the spots where they had the demos.
Yeah, which, I mean, what we played at PAX East was kind of just like, you know what we talked about back in March? Here's that demo.
That's pretty much true.
Yeah.
Kirby, I can't even stop saying Bo now. Going from Kirby to Federation Force, or maybe it was the other way around, was like, oh, thank God Kirby's coming out.
Dude, Kirby's so happy.
Kirby's so good.
Like, I really did come out of PAX East a lot more negative on Federation Force than I expected. But Kirby was just like, all right, I had like this really bad drink, and then I had Kirby to smooth it all down.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm all in for Kirby. Like, I have all 4 amiibo pre-ordered. I know. I have a sickness. Ask me about my fire.
I'll probably get him too. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah. I was about to say I don't think I bought an amiibo in months, but I bought a Roy amiibo like 2 weeks ago.
Where is our release date for Bayonetta? Come on, Nintendo.
Coming to the next Direct.
Yeah. Speaking of, when do we think we're going to get the next Direct then? Because between Dragon Quest and the amiibo, I don't think they're going to dump that kind of thing out in a press release like they've done with things like Monster Hunter and burying the release date for Federation Force in one.
Like
pre-E3.
Yeah.
But that's all I'll bet on.
I feel like we had this conversation like a month and a half ago.
We did.
And I think I said there was going to be one at the end of April, and I was wrong.
Well, you said you thought there would be, yeah.
Yeah.
But you weren't putting big money on it. I remember that. You were like, there's a chance.
I think we also thought that E3 was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
What heady times. Back when Donald and I were like, see you in 2 months. And it was like, no.
Please understand. Yeah, I kind of have this feeling like I keep every morning at like 10 o'clock my time. I check the emails like, oh, darn, not today. But I can't help but think we're probably looking at one pretty close to the anniversary of that Direct Micro they did last year. So
June 1st.
June 1st, yeah, June 1st or 2nd. Because there's one other thing that I'm thinking they want to get out of the way before that as well, a little thing called Mother 3.
Yeah.
Poor sad sacks of people.
I mean, like, we reported on the rumor, and
I know.
that rumor is very widely circulated. From what I know and what I've heard, I would be very surprised if Mother 3 does not come out in 2016 on Wii U in North America and Europe. Like, I would be baffled if, like, December 31st, 2016, and it was like, guess what? Mother 3 never came out. I'd be like, what happened? What went wrong? I kind of pegged it for E3 at the latest being revealed, but knowing Nintendo's E3 plans, dude, I got nothing. No idea of when that announcement will come, other than from what I've heard about, like, that game got localized.
And where would they slot that into the RPG apocalypse of 2016?
Well, I think the better way to look at it is where would they slot that in on the wide open Wii U release schedule?
Yeah, true.
Although what I could see them do is drop it on drop it the Thursday before E3, and then everybody's too busy playing Mother 3 to care about the fact that, oh, by the way, Nintendo brought one game to E3 this year.
Yeah. I mean, we're all going to stop paying attention after that first day.
Yep. We're going to be I've started to like say this in different places, but hey, if you made it to the end of this episode, you're the kind of people that would probably watch us talk about E3 and stream video games around E3. Because I think we're going to probably start at some point on the Monday of E3 and stream on and off. At least I know I'll be doing it. I'll be around like all of Tuesday to also do some streaming, and we'll probably be discussing stuff, maybe even like take calls or something like that. So those are our E3 plans. We'll still have people going to the show too, but there's like we're not going to have much to do. There's a Zelda game and like 6 to 7 other games for us to cover.
I like what you said on email. Maybe it was today or a couple days ago, where you were like, other companies will have more games than Nintendo will have for Nintendo system.
No, it's true.
I know.
Like there are 3 companies that I know of right now that their booths will have more Nintendo games than Nintendo.
Atlas, Natsume.
Oh, I didn't even think about Natsume. I'm not gonna like. I don't think a lot of the game's appearances at E3 are public knowledge. Like a lot of those, like there will be press releases in the next couple weeks that'll be like, here's our lineup.
Square will probably have the Dragon Quest games.
No, Square won't. Square actually announced their lineup this week, and there is nothing for us there.
Boo.
At least they're not doing a press conference this year.
Actually, a lot of places are not doing that.
Yeah. Giovanni said is to provide commentary over Treehouse Live. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. We do have a question from Giovanni, if I can.
Oh my God!
Do it.
Drunken commentary.
I mean, maybe like that's a possibility. Why is this? Stupid chat in the YouTube thing is being annoying. We have a question, if I can get to it. So here's a question of discussion if you're willing to take it. Nintendo has some stuff to show. Why would they only show Zelda as a first-day presentation?
3-day presentation.
Well, they're only presenting it out to the wider audience on the first day, and then after that, they're going. Their presence will be the people will be watching the Zelda demos at the booth. So
oh God, really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I think the thing is they're trying to make Zelda a big frickin' deal again, especially in the West. And the way they're doing that is just carpet bomb everybody with coverage at E3. Because there's more rumors coming out that there's going to be some sort of Xbox hardware announcement at the show, and we know that the PS4 Neo. I mean, if you're going to announce that and have it out before the end of September, you kind of have to do it at E3.
Right.
So that's part of the reason why I think they want to focus on not just games at the show, but a game in particular.
Okay, so here's my question about Zelda. And I've been wondering this for a little while, but I'm just now getting a chance to ask you two. They're going to have, 20 kiosks playing Zelda for people to play, so they don't run out and there aren't super long lines. They're going to be long demos. But is it going to be, is everyone playing the same friggin' level? Are we just going to have impressions from 20 different websites about the same friggin' thing?
I would think it's going to be a more expansive demo.
I would hope you get to pick a few things.
Well, I wasn't around for any. Well, even with
Federation Force, we got to pick.
With the main Zelda games that I've been at events for, Link Between Worlds, Skyward Sword. Link Between Worlds, that demo I think had a dungeon, a field, and a boss.
Oh,
so
okay.
There were 3 different parts that you could do where it was the overworld. And actually, I believe you could do the overworld thing and then go to the dungeon. And if you were really quick, then
nice.
You could get through the dungeon. Because I wanted to, I think I played that demo. If you go back to our E3 videos from that year, the gameplay footage I think was all me. Because Jared would just be like, "Can you play this again?" I'm like, "I've already played this demo 5 times, man." So I got pretty good at that demo. Skyward Sword had a similar thing where I think like they had 3 segments where like one was a dungeon, there might have been a boss, and then there was like the fly on the loft wing. So those were just part of a bigger presentation. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there's 2 dungeons, or maybe they just like, hey, you're in the open world, spend a half an hour.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Do whatever.
Yeah, probably like a couple of dungeons, a good bit of overworld exploration, because if they want to do this as like the more open world Zelda, then there's going to be a lot of experimentation probably available in what they do show as far as demos go.
Yeah.
At least that's my best guess. I'm not speaking from any knowledge of this situation. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see what this new Zelda is all about. I'm curious to see how E3 is going to play out. Just it's weird because I think like Microsoft and Sony will be business as usual. They'll have press conferences. One of them will probably be clearly better than the other one, and it seems like what they're doing, it's E3 as it ever was. But what Nintendo's doing is,
weird.
Kind of unknown territory. It's like when they stopped doing the press conferences a couple years ago. That was a weird E3 because it was just like, well, okay. And that was the year where I think they had like press were invited inside the booth before the show floor opened, and like Reggie talked at us for like 20 minutes.
Oh,
it was weird. Thankfully, they never did that again.
They just let you watch the direct or whatever in your hotel room before you came to the show.
Yep.
I mean, E3 as a gathering point, Nintendo's still pretty into that. Like they've admitted, like they're on record as having a business meeting on that Tuesday as well for, I'm guessing, the rest of the lineup for the buyers. But at this point, those kind of people would probably come to Nintendo directly for those. So
yes.
Let's just say I'm not 100% confident that the "See You Next Year" banner is going to be hanging up on day 3.
I feel like we've said that every year for the past 3 years.
Yeah, but this year, given who is pulled out and who's doing their own thing and what Nintendo's doing, I really question whether we're going to have an E3 next year as we know it.
Do you think there's any chance that the folks at home will be able to download a demo of Zelda?
That'd be really cool.
It would, because we're 10 months away, and wouldn't it be nice if we could all get a taste and get excited about this Zelda game that was supposed to come out this year? Not that I'm bitter, but wouldn't it be nice?
Here's my 2 cents on that situation. I think when they started doing the Best Buy stuff, which we haven't heard anything about, and I wouldn't 100% rule it out, but I'm also not very confident that it'll happen again.
They would have to announce it.
I can rule it out in Alaska.
Yeah, they would have to announce it very, very soon if they were going to do it.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, when the Best Buy stuff came out, I kind of did my digging and talked to people that were familiar with the process of getting things up on the eShop, and like it would have to go through, testing and lot check and like past Nintendo's submission stuff, and I kind of basically came to the conclusion, I'm like, there's no way it's going to happen. And then what did Nintendo do last year but release 9 Nindy demos right around E3?
Yeah.
And from talking to some of the people involved in those demos, that was no easy feat. That was I think it was a pretty tight deadline, and a lot of those Nindies had to kind of scramble at the last minute to be included in that. But it's possible, and I think I do not quote me on this. I think there might have been like some like loosening of like how. Like it just basically like needed to not crash systems. Like it wasn't as stringent as regular lot check. Do not quote me on that. I'm going off of like conversations from a year ago.
Yeah.
But like I think that it's possible for it to happen. Will it? It'd be nice.
Yeah, I can I mean, I think the biggest game that I ever heard of getting an E3 demo like that was the original Mass Effect. So there is a bit of a precedent for it, but I I think Nintendo is going to want to keep all the eyes on their stuff. Like they want us to watch it rather than play it, and then we play it for ourselves in March or whenever it comes out.
Yeah. But I wouldn't rule out having another form of Nindies at home.
No, that'd be cool.
I mean, it seemed like because we had Damon Baker on the telethon back in December, and talking to him, I think they were very happy with that, and I think they'd like to do it again. And I believe you can go back to the tape there, and he kind of listed about the Humble Bundle and the Nindies at Home being things that he was really proud of that year. And guess what? They did another Humble Bundle, so maybe they'll do another Nindies at Home sort of situation.
Yeah, because I mean they've got a good.
Picking your nose.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm getting over a cold, man.
Yeah, they've got a good slate of indie stuff, and that's going to be the super majority of the lineup for the second half of the year on Wii U.
I wonder if Way Forward will have Half Genie Hero at E3.
Who knows?
And maybe they'll update the demo for backers. All right, I'm not even thinking about Zelda anymore. Fuck it.
Yeah. Jack's all in on Sean.
It's supposed to be out this summer, right? I think.
August is there. They want it to come out in August.
Okay.
They're not set a release date, which is a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
But they like it to be done in August.
All right. Well, with that, thank you very much for watching and listening. If you're catching the audio version, folks. And we'll keep an eye out. Obviously, if anything does break, obviously we'll be right on top of it. Especially since I started working from home more, so now I don't have to do it on my phone.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to bug one of us individually on Twitter, Neal is at Enron10. Please confine your insults regarding NX rumors to the garbage bin.
No, I'm just if you wanna know an inside tip on my Twitter account right now, whenever I hear something about the NX or get frustrated by people being ridiculous over NX rumors, I'm getting into the habit of posting an X-Men trading card from the early '90s, because that's the way I'm gonna cope with this. It's the whole NX rumor thing is really like there's a lot of mean insults being thrown around people that I respect, and it seems like from what I know, there's a lot of hooey going around these parts.
The best thing to do is to not believe any of it, and not think about it ever.
That's
good advice.
Yeah, and the cats have been remarkably quiet about this whole thing for a reason. Because a lot of what's flying around the NX right now is a lot of cat litter.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Zach is on Twitter at zmiller1902. You can follow him for the latest in the world of paleontology, among other things.
That's true. 2 new horned dinosaurs described today.
Wow.
Excellent. And I'm on Twitter at Donald Mick. That's DonaldMick. And the other show that I do on the regular is Nintendo Free Radio at NFR Podcast. We'll be recording another episode probably this weekend. And with that, thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you next week. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.